I should probably fix that and all of the mess, but it is currently Christmas Day, so I don't really want to make that much noise today, but I thought what I could do is give you a bit of a house tour, because there's a lot of you who don't really know what is going on here and what I'm building. So I think the best way to explain it is this tiny house has got a 30 square meter footprint. It is 10 meters that way by 3 meters and then 2.85 meters internal head height. And obviously you've got a little bit more than that where all of the skylights are going. And as you can see, I've got another one here. Now this one is going directly over the sort of living room area. So there's going to be an L-shaped sofa going there. I've also got a window behind all of that plywood. So that is going to give you a little bit of light going onto the sofa. And the reason was that when you are sat on the sofa here, you can sit down and see out of it, in comparison to if I had it in, say, the position of that skylight, well, you'd be looking at plasterboard if that was there, if that makes sense. And then it's also a pretty unique skylight because the plywood is going to go straight up to the glass with no plasterboard perimeter, which is pretty unique. And then in the corner there, I have got a corner wood burner, which again is something that you do not see very often. And I was recently watching this person called Martin Doulard. I've watched his videos ever since the first one, and his wood burner that he's made, I'll put it on the screen right now, is actually insane. So I think that is something that I would like to adapt and maybe take some inspiration from what he did and create a stone surround for the wood burner. This tiny house is all basically Dream Factory stuff. I'm just doing everything that I could ever want. Like for example, here from this, actually that's kind of helpful. From this point here, going up to the edge of this window there, that is the edge of the bedroom. So there's an internal stud wall going up here, and that is going to be in line with this point there. As you leave the bedroom, you're now going into the kitchen, and there is going to be a fridge around here, a hot point sink. And then what's quite unique is the counter is going straight into the wall. So all of the plasterboard is just going to be flush. So I'm also going to be having an island coming out of the wall here, which is then going to have a bench type seat arrangement. And that skylight there is going to allow a load of light to go down onto that seating area. And the reason this is quite unique is usually in a U-shape configuration for a kitchen, you would have a work surface here. Because this is only 3 meters wide, I thought that it would be a better use of space to just delete that aspect and then have the plasterboard running straight down. But that has also allowed me to do something which is a bit of a stupid idea. It's probably not possible. But what I could do is cut a hole in the wall here, build a pizza oven. I've got my normal work surface cooking area there, where I would eat my food there, and then a pizza oven in between, which I think would be pretty awesome. Now I think that has sort of covered most of this area, except for the front door, obviously, is not going to be this forever. But one of the ideas is that I kind of extend a porch out. So I'm going straight from here all the way to the fence. And therefore I've got a kind of protected area that I can store all of my coats, shoes, and then wood for the wood burner. I think that might be quite a nice idea. Oh look, you can see all of this doing its thing. If you're thinking, Chris, that looks like a right mess, I was doing it at 4:30 in the morning and I was in a really bad mood. So if you think it looks crap, that's because it is done really badly. It's doing the job, but I definitely want to do a second layer to make sure that is all protected. And if you're worrying about all of this stuff, yeah, I am as well. And I've still got quite a lot I need to finish. But as you can see, it does look pretty insane. I've obviously got 1, 2, 3, and then I also still have this skylight just there, which is the one that was damaged because as you can see there, somebody put a screw through the pallet and it took a chunk of the glass off with it. The fourth one is behind the plywood there, and I still need to shut this so the wind doesn't open it. It's surprisingly warm in here. That is the one thing that I've noticed since the tiny house has got watertight, is just how much warmer it's got. Obviously I've got a load of insulation in the warm deck roof, nothing in the walls at the moment, and obviously all of the ground is open here because I'm trying to figure out this stupid bath idea and it is an absolute nightmare. I realistically have no idea what I'm doing, but hopefully it is going to be worth it in the end, because if I just jump down here, Now, this might be quite a good chance for me to explain why this is kind of too complicated for me to figure out. That is because of the skylight and making sure that everything is all in line with the skylight so that you're going to have this perfect tile going straight down into the bath. If you're wondering about what the next steps are going from this point, I really don't know. Obviously, the bath is going to be angled slightly back, so some more sketchiness stuff is going to be happening there. I am going to be putting damp proofing on top of the concrete blocks, and then 4x2 is going to sit on that, and then I'm essentially going to be building a floor joist structure to create the whole framework for this bath. And then on top of this, I'm going to have Jacko board, and I might go for something like 4 centimetre deep. But they have a load of options of different depths that you can have. I don't know about you, but I kind of think it makes sense to have all of the tap and everything for the shower on that side. However, I am starting to think that I want it on this side. Now, if you're wondering what this sort of room area is, that is where the toilet is going to be going, just where that bucket is. And then this opening on this side is for where the boiler is going to be going, because obviously you've got to think about that sort of stuff. Water tanks, boilers, the lot, it takes up way more space than you'd think. So when designing everything, you've got to always remember to bear that stuff in mind. And then on the left-hand side here, there is going to be a corner sink, and then the steps down to the bath shower is going to be going down there. And I think it's going to create a pretty unique bath. I mean, it's going to be unique in a couple of ways, because judging by the state of all this stuff, it's probably going to collapse on the first time I run a bath. But nah, maybe it'll be all right, we don't know. And I don't think I mentioned, but the bed is going to be going here, and then that will give you a little bit of a view out of that window just there. And then obviously the wall of the bedroom is here. So basically this entire area from that point there is the bedroom and bathroom. I was planning to do some work, but considering it's Christmas Day, I don't really want to annoy any neighbours, and realistically I'm going to be having to use an impact driver to sort out all of the initial framework. So I think I'm going to call it that for this video. I hope you have a nice Christmas if you're spending it with your family or alone. Just remember, you're probably having a better Christmas than my friend, who she was involved in a motorbike crash a while ago, and then her leg got quite mangled and some issue with it has just come back, and she's just had her leg amputated, which is not really the best thing you can have for Christmas. So just remember, if life's going bad, it can always get worse. So on that positive note, I will see you tomorrow in a bit. Honestly, look at the state of this door. It works so good though, except for when it locks me in. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow in a bit.